We're here today with Lorenzo Williams, the wealth building barber. We just kind of want to talk to him today, kind of about his life, kind of how he grew up, and kind of how he got to this point, and how he got to where he's at now. So we're going to ask him a few questions to find out exactly how he grew up and how he got here. We want you to describe the environment and growing up in this small area.
Well, growing up in this small area, my mom, she wasn't from here, and my dad, he wasn't from here. So, growing up, she really kept me away from a lot of people when I was younger. But as the older I got, I started. I knew my friends from school and stuff, but just growing up, we used to go to the projects when we were little, because that's when my grandma stayed. So it was cool, you know what I'm saying? But I seen a lot of things, like a lot of people. That's how I really started thinking about how I wanted to live when I got older, because I used to see people with rims on their cars, but I never knew what they was doing because I was young, so.
So being from Mount Vernon, being so small and being so close to St. Louis and Chicago, I'm pretty sure the drug market was open and wide here in the 90s.
Right.
So what was the first time that you was kind of introduced, not selling, but introduced to kind of know what those guys were doing that you're talking about?
I say I was about 15 years old. When I was 15, me and two of my partners, we always hung out every day, and I knew there was a lot of drugs around the town, and my partner, they family from here, so of course they knew the people who had it, so when I was 15, I remember like yesterday that we went to the dudes, one of my guys' cousins, and we bought a little something, and they already knew about it because they family already was, they was already doing it, so they showed me how to, bag it up. They showed me how to sell it. They showed me who to look for, and that's how I was introduced to it by a couple of my partners.
So once you know it, I always notice that it's the younger cat, the older cats, that kind of introduce it to the younger cats. In this area, what was the biggest challenge being a young dude running around, seeing these cats with money, and you want it, but at the same time knowing that you're only 15 years old? Like, what was the biggest challenge in your mind to go, man, should I do that or should I not do that?
I can say the biggest challenge for me was my mama, because I know I was raised right. She raised me to, be a great young man. And back then I really was into basketball a lot, sports. But the challenge was her. That's all I can say about that, because she played that. That was my challenge.
So with you just said sports. With sports, did you not see NBA or anything like that in the college? Like, you didn't see that at first?
Well, I ain't gonna lie, just like a lot of our own people say when we young, we want to go to the NBA. That's what I used to say. I want to go to the NBA, but I never really thought about college. I'm not gonna lie, I never thought about college.
But you was playing sports,
right?
So you could see that. I always hear this: you either got a wicked jump shot,
right,
or you got a crack spot, one or the other.
Yeah.
So how did that play out here? Evidently, you chose the latter than the other. So what was that first day that you went, man, I'm finna try this?
You talking about with hustling, right?
Yes.
Man, it was that day whenever me and my partners, we had went and bought a little something, and we pulled up in his grandma's backyard. That's when I was 15, and they showed me how to break it down. And once I got that, I think I bought something for 40 that you could make 80 off of. We broke it down. They showed me how to sell it, and it went so fast. I'm looking at the money like, oh yeah, this what I'm finna do. I feel like it was easy,
And we all think it's easy. Once you got into it, we're gonna fast forward a little bit, because we can go through the whole story, but we're gonna fast forward. Once you got into it, once you knew that it was easy money, what became the risk to that easy money?
Oh man, the risk. See, like whenever we start doing it, man, I'm gonna tell you like this. I remember it probably was a year went by. I'm going home. I always had a pocket full of money. My mama, she used to be asking me, where you get that shirt from? Where you get them clothes from? But after a while, one day, people started disappearing. So my guys like, man, dude got picked up. I'm like, for what? They had indictments. I'm like, what's an indictment? So I didn't know what an indictment was. They told me, they like, oh, you can go to jail for this stuff, for selling this. I'm like, for real? So that's when I knew it was real in the streets. So I had stopped for a minute.
So once you stopped, what motor did you switch to? Like, was you back on the sports thing, kind of back on what your mom kind of had you focused on?
I was really back on the sports thing, and you know, at that point, at 15 years old, 16 years old, I was into girls and just being a teenager,
So, girls, being that young and knowing my situation, the girls is what drew me
Right.
to want to have those things. Did girls have any play when you was like, oh man, I gotta get that car, man, I gotta have them clothes? Or that girl she ain't gonna ride with me?
I can't say that for me, man. I really didn't. I never been, like, even when I was young, I never feel like that it took money to get the girls, it was just like, I just feel like I needed money to get what I wanted because, I never grew up poor or nothing, but, I remember going to school when I was younger, like, some of my friends, they had better clothes than me. They had, Jordans. I never owned a pair of Jordans until I got older,
And I think that's what most of the people think is that it's the flash, it's the clothes, it's the jewelry, it's all of those things.
Yeah.
When I talk about the risk, I mean, you spoke about, the police. That is one of the biggest risks.
Right.
The other risk that I think nobody thinks about, we thought about in the beginning, is the guns.
Mm-hmm.
How did that play in Mount Vernon? I think Mount Vernon is what, 17,000, already 18,000 people.
Somewhere in there.
How did that play here, being so close to the city, with gunplay, violence?
And like you said, like in my life, right?
Yeah, and you're just in the whole scheme of anybody you was around, anybody you was dealing with, yourself.
Like when I was that young, like we didn't. We probably had a couple partners who had guns every now and then, but it really wasn't no big thing, It wasn't no big thing where like everybody was toting guns. It was really like everybody we throw hands, it was a fighting thing.
So you guys protected y'all turf by throwing hands.
Yeah.
In the beginning.
Yes, sir.
Man.
Sir.
That's old school.
Yes, sir.
So like that's a shocker to me.
Yeah.
You can't hear it in my voice because we had to protect our turf with them things.
Right.
So
but the older I got, like when I got in my 20s, yeah, of course, we started toting guns. Everybody started toting guns, and.
So why do you think that if you guys had that element of being able to protect y'all turf with throwing hands, why do you think the guns came into play? Because I believe the police was only in play for the bodies when it truly came down to it.
Right.
I don't think they cared about us selling crack to another black person. I think when it came down to it, it started coming down to the bodies.
Right.
So why did you guys think y'all went to that way when y'all had this over here already that y'all can protect with y'all hands?
Because it always took like somebody on the other side to pull out a gun, and somebody might pull a gun out when we about to fight, and we know like, okay, bet you strapped, all right, bet. So next time I see you, that's what it is. I'm gonna have mine too.
So so basically you guys had a couple of knuckleheads, basically.
Yeah.
And knuckleheads, everybody got to protect themselves from there.
Yep.
I can see that. So once you got into it, and let's fast forward again. So you into it, you're doing what you do. What was the moment that you felt like, man, this ain't gonna work no more? I gotta do something different.
And that's like with the hustling and the streets, just period.
The streets, just ready to do something different and not make that fast money.
Man, I say when I went to boot camp when I was 21 years old. I had got into a couple shootouts and went to boot camp. So once I got out, you know, I started back hustling, and of course I got a few kids by then, so I'm hustling hard. And at about 22, you know what I'm saying, like a lot of my guys, they started going, the feds started picking them up. So, you know, it made me think like, man, I gotta start doing something different because a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, they had my name in their paperwork. I knew that at that point the feds was looking at me at 22 years old. And then my first time, I've been shot twice. My first time getting shot, I got shot when I was 20 years old. So, you know, once I was in boot camp, I started thinking like, I gotta do something different, you know? And my brother named Kendall Malone, man, he was a barber, you know? He been cutting hair all my life, so I thought in boot camp, I'm like, you know what? That's something I can do. And at that point, I still was thinking about fast money. I look at barbering, I was looking at it then like, okay, you cut the head and you get the cash.